Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dennis G. Mendoza from Section 11 MMPA, and I will discuss the ecology of public administration. Ecology is a concept borrowed from the field of biology, in which the term refers to the study of the relationships among living organisms, including humans and their physical environment. All living things are dependent on both nature and each other for their survival. So, if the population of one species rises or falls, this means that the populations of other species in the same ecosystem will also change. This is an interdependence. Ethical perspective in public administration refers to the understanding that administrative systems are influenced by and interact with their surrounding environment. The different departments, agencies, and stakeholders are all part of a larger system that influences and is influenced by each other. For example, a change in policy or budget allocation in one department can have ripple effects throughout the entire system. Similarly, external factors such as political pressures, political accommodations, or economic conditions can also impact the functioning of public administration. Therefore, ecology plays an essential role in many of its decisions and therefore having a substantial part in the effects. Public administration or administrative behavior is influenced by its environment, which includes political, economic, social factors, and legal framework. Public administrators can respond more appropriately to difficulties within and outside their organization if they take a more sensitive and mindful approach to environmental concerns. Furthermore, suppose the concepts of ecology are correctly applied, it can serve as a diagnostic tool for the public administrator to provide standards for evaluating the impact of the above mentioned factors to the organization. Number one factor affecting the decisions of the organization is the political factors. Political factors are government policies, laws, regulations, and political ideologies that directly influence the priorities and direction of public administration. It has a significant impact on how public institutions operate. For example, change in tax laws or budget allocations can affect the level of resources available to public agencies. It can affect the quality of services provided by the government to the public. Next is economic factor. It is the availability of financial resources, budget allocations, economic conditions, and fiscal policies that impact the capacity and scope of administrative activities. Public investments in infrastructure or education can lead to increased economic growth and job creation. Conversely, economic downturns can strain public resources and limit the ability of public agencies to provide the services. Next factor that affects the organizational strategies is social factor. Social factors are public expectations, social needs, demographic changes, and cultural dynamics that guide the design and delivery of public services. For instance, shifts in population demographics may require changes in service delivery models to meet the needs of diverse communities. So, maaaring mga ilangan ng mga pagbabago sa mga strategies para maihatid yung mga serbisyo upang matugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng magkakaibang komunidad. Additionally, changing cultural attitudes towards government and public institutions can impact trust and legitimacy, which can affect the effectiveness of public programs. Public office is a public trust. Mahalaga na makuha mo ang tiwala ng tao para hindi pagdudahan ng effectiveness ng mga programa ng pamahalaan. Legal regulatory frameworks are administrative decisions that are constrained by legal structures, regulations, and judicial interpretations. For instance, you want to protect the agency and the employees from people walking the premises or applying something from your office like licenses, permit, etc. And you want to formulate some guidelines or internal policy to take the ID and let them log in. So you have to be mindful on up to what extent or are you getting the personal information, what are your specific objectives and the duration of safekeeping the records, etc. Because that might be violating the Data Privacy Act 2012 or because of low budget allocation due to the budget cut in the Congress or low collection from BIR or BOC or from GOCCs. You cannot just get your office supplies from the cheapest suppliers because of the Government Procurement Act or your internal policy office uniforms for male and female might need an update because of the SOGI bill. Just like organisms in an ecosystem that are interconnected and affected by their habitat, public administration is influenced by various external factors. Public administration does not exist in isolation, it operates within a dynamic and interconnected environment. Political institutions, economic conditions, social norms, cultural values, and technological advancements are some of the components of this environment. These interactions shape administrative behavior like decisions, policies, and strategies. In conclusion, public administration must consider the effect it gets from the surrounding, thus, it must consider its ecology. Applying ecological concepts to public administration can fortify existing institutional structures and even new patterns for individuals. Considering the impact of ecology can assist public administrators to respond efficiently to the challenges they face. Ecology can indeed serve as a diagnostic and analytical tool in public administration. And that ends my part. Thank you for listening.